Why should they go back to a worse situation? Because that is the situation they escaped from and came to Bangladesh. So we must ensure that they go back in rights and security. The changed realities in Myanmar, I'm sure this has been amply discussed already, which of course affect the possibility of repatriation. There was, many leaders in the world had hailed the restoration of democracy or things like that in Myanmar, but the reality remains that actually Myanmar did not have democracy. It was a quasi-military government with Aung San Suu Kyi as the face of the government to be shown to the world. So even that semblance was thrown away, and 4 years back, 4.5 years back, the military took over directly. And for the first time, as has already been mentioned, that even Myanmar has been seeing the insurgencies in ethnic areas for eons, but for the first time, the bombers took up arms against the military regime. So for the first time, we have a sort of a complete civil war going on in Myanmar. Complete civil war going on in Myanmar. And I do not want to be hopeful that unless the dust settles, we will be able to send our Rohingyas back to their country. Already we have spent about 8 years, and maybe it will take some time more, but what I insist on is that we must arrive at, through diplomacy and through negotiations, maybe beyond diplomacy also, we must have the roadmap how all these people can go back. Not the tokenism that was tried twice and failed. I was happy, and I expressed it openly, I was happy that the tokenism did not succeed, because a token repatriation would have given some additional weapons to the military regime in Myanmar, that look, we are resolving this issue bilaterally, so the world doesn't need to be concerned about this thing. That did not happen, and as has been also pointed out, that with so many things happening all around the world, including in Myanmar, the issue of repatriation there is a tendency of putting it behind, in the back seat. So one of the jobs of Bangladesh diplomacy has been to keep the issue alive, mentioning it in each and every occasion possible, even when the occasion is not exactly for this, but just to bring it up like this. And I think a good success has been the visit of the UN Secretary General, and the words he said, I think he has been really helpful in, again, bringing the issue before the general audience of the international community. Now, how do you negotiate? With whom you negotiate? If we go to the realities, if we refer back to the realities, there are basically three authorities of different levels of power, but there are three. The military regime is still in power, and there is, as I can see, that some sort of a, territorially speaking, some sort of a thaw in the entire situation. None of the parties are gaining much ground as of today or in the last few months, if I say that. The military regime is told us completely controls about 1/5 of the country, and about 40% of the country intermittently, and the rest is in the hands of either the NUG-supported armed groups or the ethnic armed groups, as has been in the case for a very long time. So you have the military regime, you have the Arakan army, which is a reality. Because for us, Myanmar is largely a Rakhine state. Decisions may be taken elsewhere, maybe in Naypyidaw, maybe in other capitals in the world, but the fact remains that the Arakan army is in possession, is in control of the Rakhine state. So they are a party, to reckon with in any future dispensation. It's my opinion again. Others are free to disagree with me. In any future dispensation, when the dust settles, Arakan Army is going to call the shots as regards the situation and the state of affairs in the Rakhine state. So they are a party. They are then a non-state actor and a government which recognizes the Myanmar state. It's not possible for them to directly go into negotiation with them. And finally, you have the NUG. It basically represents the members of parliament who were elected by the people and were just dismissed by the military regime. The NUG, for the first time, addressed the Rohingyas as Rohingyas. They issued 3 statements specifically addressed to the Rohingyas. They also, in the first statement, they had asked for the Rohingyas to join them in their efforts to defeat the military and establish democracy in the country. In my opinion, at that time, the opportunity should have been taken, and the Rohingyas should have become a part and an actor within the NUG. This, unfortunately, neither the Rohingyas nor the then Bangladesh government took any cognizance of this offer. And one thing is that someone doesn't fight and then give the rights to you. You have to be part of it. So I think that was an opportunity which was missed.